All right, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. As you can tell, we're back in my garage today. And today I thought I'd go through and do a quick bike check on all the bikes that are in my stable currently, because there's a couple you either saw, a while ago when I did a bike check, and they've definitely changed since then. There's some that haven't changed at all. And then of course, there's some new bikes I've gotten since the last videos I've uploaded. I do plan on doing some projects on. So I hope you guys stay tuned to this video to kind of take a look at my bike fleet. Of course, if you have any questions about any of these bikes, let me know down below. Glad to answer them, help you guys out, tell you anything you want to know about them. Of course, if you're new to the channel, go ahead, head down below, hit that subscribe button. If it's red, that means you are not subscribed, so you are going to miss all these great videos. So make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button, that little bell icon next to that way you get notified every time I upload. That way, you don't miss a single one. So, first bike I decided to start with is going to be my nice road bike here. This is my Trek 1.2 series. I've had this bike for, I was thinking about it, I think it's been about 5 years I've had this bike, which is crazy. Pretty simple. Pretty much it's their level up from their standard entry-level road bike. So going to be aluminum frame, has the carbon fork to it, has some upgraded Mavic wheels that came with it when I bought it. It has, of course, my Crank Brother egg beaters on here. And then, of course, right up here, I just wrapped the bars, one of my last videos before I left Hawaii, with some ESI bar tape. I would love to say I've ridden this a bunch, and I would, it's amazing. I can tell you it's really soft and comfy. Can't tell you I've ridden my road bike very much, though, since we moved here. We weren't in the best road bike community before, so much better up here. So hopefully get some riding done on this. Of course, stick the GoPro on here. I'll take you guys on some rides sometimes. So that's really the road bike. Very simple. I have a previous bike check I did on it. It really hasn't changed much since then. So I'll post a link up in the corner right up here so you can take a look at that if you want to learn a little bit more. Other than that, we'll get on to our next bike. Next up, we got my Trek 3700 series mountain bike here. This bike you guys seem to like a lot. Probably one of my most viewed bike check videos I've done. And really this one, I've had for about 10, 11 years. Been a long time. This bike was the first bike I took to Hawaii with me. It's been through many, many, many changes from the way it came from the bike shop. Very many changes. First off, from the last bike check I did, which was about a little over a year ago, a little under a year ago, I think it was. I've changed quite a bit on this bike since just then. This bike, last time you guys saw it, has a nice commuter set of wheels on, which is now kind of hanging up here. Nice commuter set of wheels, had the riser bars on here, the nice bull horns on it, the old school kind of get you sitting up more right riding style. Had those on there. Didn't have a bottle cage, just had normal pedals with the cages on them. It was a really basic kind of old school bike. Since then, I got it here. I've upgraded, I've put a couple little upgrades on it, changed the wheels, of course, over to my mountain bike wheels here. These are a Continental Verticals. They're 26 by 2.3 tire. I've had these for a long time. I love them. They grip like nothing else. Great for mud. They hum really good on the road. They do drag a little bit, but they're fun. This bike is solely meant for fun. Has a RockShox Dart 2 on the front, which is amazing fork, especially for just an entry-level 20 to 26-inch bike. Did change the bars here. It's actually these bars and stems. These are actually the old ones off of my Superfly, this 29er, my single speed. When I changed those over, I actually kept these and I switched them over to here. The bars are actually quite a bit wider than the ones that were on here originally, and then the stem doesn't have quite as much of a rise to it. So it makes it a little bit more of an aggressive stance to it, which is nice. Makes it kind of fun. Other than that, do have the Crank Brother Smarties on here, but you haven't heard of the Smarties before. Those are their entry-level, what do they call them? Those are their entry-level clipless pedals from Crank Brothers. I'm not sure if they make them still anymore, but I bought these a while ago, and I like them. They kind of match the bike, and really they do the job perfectly well. Other than that, have Vuelta wheels on here. These are their Vuelta MTB wheels, I believe they were called. So great wheels. They are disc ready. The bike, bike itself has just V-brakes on here. The Shimano XTR V-brakes work great. Other than that, this is probably one of my more favorite bikes to ride, just because of how it has a simple gears. It's only a 3x8 drivetrain, so it's still kind of back in the simpler times where before I was 3x9 or 3x10 or 3x11 or 11 speed in the rear. pretty much when I ride this bike, kind of feels like I'm at home. I kind of know how everything works. I know how everything shifts. I modified this bike far from what it was originally. So that's the Trek 3700. We'll move on to the next bike. Next up, we got the Specialized P3 dirt jumper here. I've had this bike for about as long as I've had the road bike, about 5 years now. This bike is really just a fun bike. That's about it. It's fun, get to throw it around, beat the snot out of it, and it never falters. The only real problems I've had with it, killed the tires because they were just old, and the rear brakes. That's right, the brakes died on me. So I have replaced the brakes here, which is what I dumped the front brake. Right now it says Shimano, I believe it's a Dior that's on here. So I bought that, installed that. I did a video on that, installing the disc brake on here, the rear disc brake. Other than that, super simple, single speed, Chester pedals, beat the crap out of it. It does what you want it to do, and you could easily do more on it. Done a lot of videos on this, done a lot of dirt jump videos. They're just kind of fun. Head to the skate park with it, just kind of ride around. I'm definitely not a super experienced dirt jumper, so don't expect that. I may do some more stuff here now that we're up here. Try and get a little bit more into dirt riding with this. There's some kind of little jumps and trails over this way, so maybe you'll see this bike actually in the dirt. Otherwise, there's a skate park. Maybe go to a skate park again with this. Who knows? Just got a fun bike, had it for a long time. Doesn't owe me anything, but I beat the crap out of it anyways. It's great. So on to the next bike. Still got the wife's bike. This is their Specialized Aerial. Had this for about 3 or 4 years now. Hasn't changed. About the same. Still has the ESI chunky grips on here. Still all original. Rides great. My wife loves it when she does ride it. Has hydraulic disc brakes on it. I mean, more braking than she will ever need is going to be on here. I believe it's a 3. I think it's actually a 3x8 drivetrain as well on here. So it has all the gearing she would ever need to ride around here. All the braking power she would ever need. And then we've adjusted. I've talked a bunch of videos about adjusting how to, adjusting your bike to how you feel and how to make it more comfortable while you ride. That I've done a lot on her bikes. We did do a little bit of experimentation on that, lowering the stem, raising the seat, moving the seat forward and back, moving the pedals, all that kind of stuff. We did a lot of stuff on that for this bike here. It's a great bike. I don't have any updates on it. It hasn't really changed at all since it's been on the channel. So if you have any questions about this one, feel free to ask me. I'll tell my wife and she can respond to you because she likes her bike a lot. So we're going on to the next bike. Next bike I have is a new bike and you haven't seen it before. So we'll get on to that bike here. All right, next bike we got here. This is actually I believe it's a 67 Sears 3-speed bike. You've not seen this bike on the channel. It's been sitting in my parents' garage ever since I went to Hawaii for school. This bike is by far, I think one of my favorite bikes just to ride around town. Has a simple 3-speed tub in the rear. Just very basic handbrakes. It's a solid steel frame, so it absorbs all the bumps for you. It has some crazy set tires. I'm not gonna go super into this because I am going to doing a video here in about a week or so on this bike and doing a kind of a whole in-depth on this bike and what it's all about. But this is a bike that's on the channel now. It's a great bike to have. It's really just a fun bike to cruise around town with. That's why I have it, and I will probably never get rid of it. So that's this bike. You will see this bike about a week from today. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you want to know more about this bike. Other than that, we're going on to our next bike. All right, and we're coming back to this bike here. Another one of the ones that's been on the channel for a long time. This is my Trek Superfly 5. It was like a 2014, 2015 model. This bike is probably one of my favorite bikes I've ridden and by far one of the most viewed bikes on my channel. From everything from my cheap dropper post here to a single speed conversion to wider bars, shorter stem. This bike has by far been the most viewed bike on my channel, and it's because I ride it the most and I change it the most. I had the most changes to this bike out of anything. Other than the last time you saw it on the channel, it is exactly the same as it was before. There's nothing different about it, but it is by far one of my favorite bikes. It's single speed, hardtail, has the RockShox Recon Silver up front. It's a cheap dropper post. Again, I have all sorts of these videos on my channel. If you head to my channel page, you scroll down, it's actually all sorted by what bike that video is mainly by. If you look under this bike, it's gonna have the cheap dropper post, single speed conversion, wider bars, shorter stem. All these great videos all about this bike are gonna be in that playlist. So take a look at that. And we're gonna move on to the next bike, which again is one you have not seen yet. The next two bikes are actually ones you have not seen on this channel yet, because I got them about the time I stopped because it got freezing cold. So we'll move on to the next bike, and you'll think you guys are gonna like this one. All right, so this bike, you can tell it's very different than the rest of the bikes. Namely, there's no seat or seat post. And it's a Mongoose, and it's kind of a pile of crap. is the nice way to put it there. This bike I picked up used, we can say. Used, it was going to the dump. I snagged it because it is a simple bike. This is what all you guys are dealing with if you buy a Walmart bike or anything that's really inexpensive and you really just want to learn to work on your bike or make it better. That's why I got this bike. So I can work on simple V-brake adjustments, going through everything, adjusting the bearings, adjusting the shifters, adjusting everything, and pretty much redoing this bike from the frame out and making it all new and working like it's supposed to again. That's the reason I got this bike. It's been sitting on my apartment porch for probably almost a year, a little under a year. And finally, I'm at the point where I have a place to work on this bike while having all the other bikes here too. So that's the point of this bike, is really to make more videos for you on how to do basic stuff on basic equipment. Most of my bikes have disc brakes. All the ones over there have disc brakes or more higher quality or higher end brakes. This one has stuff you're gonna find at a department store, Walmart, Target bike, even your entry-level bikes you find at a bike shop. This is gonna be much more similar to those, which is why I bought this. If you're curious what bike this is a Mongoose, I think it's a Mongoose Excursion. It is a 29er. Just happened to be a 29er. Anyways, that's why this bike is here. So you'll see this bike more in the channel. It's gonna be a little bit because I got some videos I need to get through first. But then we will get to this video, to this bike, tear it down, and go through each thing step by step and video by video to kind of rebuild this bike back to acting like a new bike. And of course, get a seat and a seat post for it because that's kind of important. One more bike to share with you. So if you guys want to hang on one moment, I'll get that bike for you real quick. This is my bike. I ride this every day. It's just my size. It's so fun. Put all my toys in my basket. No, I'm kidding. This is my daughter's bike. We picked this up about the same time I picked up that Mongoose bike. This is for her to really get riding and get comfortable on a bike. Thought I'd get a balance bike. Did end up happening. You find a cheap bike at Goodwill, you buy a cheap bike at Goodwill. So it has training wheels, has pedals, has a basket. She loves it. Sitting in our corner of our apartment. Once I pulled it out, she fell in love with it and she'll just hop on it and sit there. She's just about the point where she can reach the pedals. So this bike is as simple as can be. There is absolutely nothing that can go wrong with this bike. It has no tubes. The tires are foam. The wheels are plastic. And it has a chain that's covered by a chain guard. So that's my last bike, is this one right here. Nice little fun bike for my daughter. You know, just get her into riding. So I do have a bike trailer. I have that so I can tow her behind me on my bikes while you go to like parks or whatnot. So I do have that bike trailer. I don't really want to bring it in. It doesn't fit through the door very well. But I do have a bike trailer, and that thing's pretty fun. You know, it's a little, definitely a little, it's used. It's used and loved is a good word to use for it. But I like that trailer. Makes it fun. I'll do a review on that once I ride with it for a while and kind of get a feel for it so you guys can kind of know how a bike trailer works and, you know, what I think of it. Really, they're all about the same. But that's pretty much my bike fleet. So I have 8 bikes. Holy crap. There you go. So I have 8 bikes in the fleet right now. As of right now, I don't really have plans to sell any of them or get rid of any of them. Update some, yes. I do have some plans to wanting to update some bikes and change up some parts on some bikes and just make them more fun. It's kind of the big deal, and just to fix some of them up. Some of them have been sitting for quite a while. So I do have some plans for those, which of course you guys will be involved in as we go throughout this channel, because that's what I like to do. I like to share with you guys all these update videos and fixing your bikes, making it so you guys can do it yourself on all your bike projects. So as you can see, I have a pretty wide range of bikes here. So if you have any requests for a video on whatever kind of bike it is, I have it. And I probably know how to work on it. I probably know how to do it too. I just don't know you guys want to know about it. So make sure you leave me a comment down below in the description. That way I know what you guys want to know. Because if you want to know something about this little kid's bike here, I'll make a video on it. Or if it's something I can just comment back to you, I'll comment back to you real quick. So thanks for watching today. Hopefully you guys understand how big my bike fleet is now. It's huge, and why I needed a garage to store all my bikes, because there's so many of them. So now you know. So hopefully that helps you guys. We'll get back to this on Monday. We'll get back to another video doing a bike quick talks. You guys have to stay tuned for that one. Again, if you're not subscribed, head down below, hit that subscribe button. Love to have you guys as a part of the channel. Give this video a big thumbs up. Appreciate having you guys joining me in this video today. But until next time, thanks for watching. We'll see you on Monday.